Aho, Madakia say relatives of the world, the four directions. I want to express a little bit about who I am. My name is Joanne Spotted Bear. My Indian name is Matonia. I come from Wounded Knee, South Dakota, and I do live in Reno, Nevada, here on the Great Red Nation called Turtle Island. Some people know it as United States of America. However, America is not a country. It's named after a man named Amerigo Vespucci. The name America itself is responsible for the death of 300 million Indians who have died. That is blood libel in itself on an international level of law. What I have this morning and that I'd like to talk about is international business on behalf of the Great Red Nation. So here it goes. Spider, the one of Native American Indian Basketball Association, who's operating a business out of the Philippines. This is the reality story of the Lakota, Nakota, Dakota, Oyate people. This is the way the story is being told to me. They say that if you're going to do business, you do business here at home first. You don't start a business in another country because that country doesn't belong to you. Your first priority is your people. The Lakota, Nakota, Dakota, Great Teton, Oyate, from East Coast to West Coast into Canada, are a part of my people. Here in Reno, Nevada, Waboka and Sitting Bull share the Chinoopa. I myself and Blues Two Hearts shared that Chinoopa that Waboka once smoked. We sat down, we prayed, we humblechad, we go to Sundance, we go to Sweat Lodge, we talk, we laugh, and we discuss different issues concerning their Great Red Nation and our traditional way of life. Our way of life is, I will stand up for Lachey Young, Ty White, Lee Whitehorse, and Donnell. I can't remember his last name, Lone Hill, I believe it is. I will stand up for our children, our moms, dads, grandmothers, and grandfathers, and unborn children to fight drugs, alcohol, suicide, and poverty on an international level. And I will help those who can't help themselves. When you're on a professional, international level, you know who you are, you know where you come from. You know that sovereignty is taking the responsibility of being a man, a woman, or a warrior. And you stand up for your people and you don't put them down. You want them to succeed. You want them to do good. You want them to do the very best they can in their life. You don't put them down and make them feel bad. After all, if you don't know where they come from, there's no use in saying anything negative about them. Yes, I know I've said a lot about my Aunt Bee, my cousin Al, or my Uncle Johnny, and things like that, but these are my relatives, and my Aunt Bee is one of the 13 indigenous grandmothers of the world. Our Lakota Oyate Tioshba way of the Chinoopa is that, yes, we have our ups and downs, but we have to forgive. How can you believe in God and talk about other people? This Bible was brought here to the Great Red Nation, and 300 million Indians have died, and not one Christian, not the 5% rich, not the 228 popes, nor the 43 governments ever claimed blood libel. However, they claimed freedom of speech and avoided blasphemy. Blasphemy is an international law. Those who live in the Philippines should know that, especially you, Spider, or anybody else who's in different countries. Genocide is also an international law. Poverty is an international law. These are very serious charges, that I'm talking about. There's only enough food bloods to fill half of California to this day. There's only two types of people, the original and aboriginal. The federal government owes the Red Nation what is called the fiduciary duty of trustee status. Because the Red Nation is small, we have what we call camouflaged our children. Our children, even if they had a drop of blood in them, they are still part of the Lakota Nation or the Great Red Nation. What this means is this. A lot of our federal government, when they were starting, they beat our loved ones or they killed them for talking their traditional way of life or practicing their traditional way of life. Our Sundance ways had to go incognito or hiding just to continue on to this day, 2011, and they came back. In reality, there's this blood libel that nobody wants to claim. However, every single entity in the Great Red Nation wants to claim sovereignty. Sovereignty of the land. The land here belongs to the Great Red Nation, and those who come here from across the pond are supposed to abide by the land they live in. And those of you who are mixed with the Lakota way of life or even the Red Nation, we ask that each and every one of you take and listen to your brothers and sisters, not make fun of them. Lachey Young knows her traditional ways. Autumn Tubles knows her traditional ways. Lee Whitehorse knows his traditional ways. Russell Means knows his traditional ways. Leonard Peltier knows his traditional ways. So with that being said, there's an aim song, and that aim song is not the aim song. It is a warrior song to sing your very last death song. Relatives, there was what I'm talking about here is 5% rich. Some of them are 8th grade dropouts. And these 8th grade dropouts are who's telling our government what to do in office. When I went to the meeting with Quickstar, one of the things that was said was, who do you think pays the government to be in office? I was there when they said they'd cut back on Social Security and welfare. And I did not know what I knew today. And because I had to pick up the pen and paper, I filed my International Native Indian Program status of activity on 10/1/2009 to help our people. And like I said, one of my questions was, now that I have my paperwork, who authorized the government to do business inside the Great Red Nation of Turtle Island? And who give the authority to kill 300 million Indians? And if you are part of the Great Red Nation, you would never down talk our people. Yes, our people already have problems among each other. We see that every day, all day long on Facebook. But our main goal and our objective is to save our children, no matter which way it's being said. Those who have killed somebody are in prison, and they'll be there for a mighty long time. Some 10 years, 20 years, 25, and others will be there for life and never see the day of light. Our biggest mistake was when we signed the Indian Reorganization Act and gave up our identity. Our identity was to help the Great Red Nation until the water runs dry and the grass is no longer green. What that means is that There was supposed to be no more alcohol, no more drugs, no more suicide, no more poverty. Every single one of us should have been taken care of because of what is called a fiduciary duty. I myself, I was born in 1970. I never asked the federal government to have a birth certificate or a social security card. However, they manipulated our people. The best thing that we can do as the Red Nation is to give back their social security cards and birth certificates and get sovereignty back. There is not enough gold or oil or silver in the world to replace the 300 million Indians that have died. Not by the 5% rich or the 10% rich of the world. They can never ever replace our people. Not the New World Order or the Illuminati either. However, these people want to be the top controllers of this land. In order to be the top controllers, they'd have to take care of the Red Nation. And nobody wants to do that. They all want to be rich, but none of them want to accept the responsibility of blood libel. I'm sorry I keep saying that over and over, but that's the honest truth, and no one likes to hear the truth, and I don't like to tell you the truth. However, in order to get past what's going on today, we have to look at yesterday, today, and tomorrow in order to change our future. Aho, dakyase. God said, whoever shall believe in me shall have everlasting life. Thou shalt be done on earth as it is in heaven. This is the way we believe too. We just don't say it that way, but we believe Creator is everlasting life. Aho, dakyase.